worse than LeBron James because LeBron James is LeBron James, nigga. Fuck is you talking? What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Certified Damo here, and we're here with
Isaiah,
and we finna react to James Harden in his prime. Was he robbed? Was James Harden robbed?
was he robbed?
I don't know. We finna see.
Did he really deserve 2018?
Could he get past the Warriors? No.
I think what you're seeing with James Harden is the same. You know, he's not doing this off the whim.
Oh, he stared at Wesley Johnson and then he hit the three. He's an NBA MVP, a 10-time All-Star, a 2-time assists leader, and a 3-time scoring champion. At his peak, many considered him the greatest scorer of all time. So, just how good was prime James Harden actually?
He could score, but I don't know if he was one of the best scorers of all time just because he did it for such a short time.
And he had a mohawk. That just downgrades a lot of points right there.
A mohawk.
Look at it, man. Just look at it, bro. I knew a man with a mohawk one time. His name was Xavier.
I was a man with a mohawk.
You were? I actually was too. I just like hating on niggas with mohawks. That shit funny.
Never supposed to play in the NBA. It's a miracle that he's even alive. His mother had several miscarriages, and after she finally gave birth to James,
You trust me, you're gonna look back and be like, damn, I really had this haircut. Like, that shit was ugly, so.
Yeah.
You show somebody that, gonna be like, you had an ugly mohawk.
They gonna bake your shit.
Bake it. Cook, you're cooked.
nicknamed him Lucky. Harden grew up in Compton during the 90s drug wars, and to escape gang violence, James turned to basketball. But because he had asthma and loved fast food, James was usually the slowest and least conditioned kid in every game. Despite his tough upbringing and physical deficiencies, James loved to hoop, and he focused on becoming an elite ball handler and shooter. When he grew to 6'6", Harden's game blossomed. And as a high school senior, James became a McDonald's All-American. As a sophomore at Arizona State, Harden averaged 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, and was named Conference Player of the Year and a
That nigga look weird as shit.
Yeah.
Like, that don't look like James Harden.
But, I mean, he didn't really have his full beard in. James Harden really looks like him because of his beard. Like, it just covers half of his face. So it's like you really only see his eyes, his nose, and his lips, and his forehead. That's it. And now you don't barely even see that because he be having sometimes his hair down. But
his first-team All-American. Going into the 2009 NBA draft, Harden still looked a little chubby, and many scouts believed he had limited athletic potential. But after he dominated at the NBA Draft Combine, showing amazing agility and explosiveness, OKC selected him with the 3rd overall pick. Harden joined the most talented young team in the league, with KD, Westbrook, and Serge Ibaka. And unlike most high draft picks, James didn't have to wait long for the team to become successful. OKC won 50 games in his rookie season, and the next year, the Thunder made it to the conference finals. But it was during his 3rd season when James started to become a big problem for everyone in the NBA. Coming off the bench, Harden dominated opposing second units, averaging 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists, dominantly winning the 6th Man of the Year award. He was often compared to Manu Ginobili, another lefty 6'6" shooting guard who came off the bench, with a similar offensive style and passing creativity. In the playoffs, OKC dominated the West, losing just 3 games on their way to the 2012 NBA Finals. But at the biggest stage, OKC proved to be too inexperienced, and LeBron James wasn't planning on losing his 3rd NBA Finals. The Heat defeated the Thunder.
Every superstar today has a story of how they couldn't get past LeBron.
You think so?
Except Curry. But he still has a story of how he couldn't get past LeBron when he blew that 3-1 lead. Yeah. So, I mean, everybody has a story now. And that's just hilarious to me. I ain't gonna lie. LeBron just dominated the league for years and generations. That's insane. Give that man his flowers, bro.
And Harden was used as a scapegoat for the loss. Unlike Manu Ginobili, who was always super clutch, Harden disappeared in the finals. He was shooting terribly and couldn't buy a bucket. And defensively, It was even worse. The media labeled James as a choker. But that was a one-dimensional look at things, because Harden was still really young. He also played with two ball-dominant players in KD and Russ, and coach Scott Brooks was unable to fully incorporate all three of them. Still, OKC's core players were all under 25 years old, and everybody believed that the trio of KD, Russ, and Harden would become a dynasty. But when the offseason came, the Thunder's owner didn't want to pay the luxury tax, so he lowballed Harden on his contract extension. James wanted $60 million over 4 years, and OKC wasn't willing to go over 55. GM Sam Presti...
Over $5 million? You think it was worth it?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. It was not worth it at all. But at the end of the day, they're putting their bodies on the line every single day. 83 games, damn near in a row. I mean, that's if they get some breaks, you know.
Yeah, and it's crazy because the league would look so much different if James Harden didn't leave OKC.
Yeah.
Because the Rockets wouldn't have been what the Rockets were. That means no CP. That means that Chris Paul Warriors series never happened. And who knows, Harden may not have been the scorer he was if he stayed in OKC. Because like he said, he was behind KD and Russ.
Yeah, he couldn't really blossom into the point guard that he really could be. But he didn't even have a superstar on his team with the Rockets, which really made him James Harden that he is today.
Definitely.
He would have probably been bounced up the league somewhere in Puerto Rico right now if he stayed with
Puerto
OKC.
Rico. No dissing to the Puerto Ricans.
Then forced to trade Harden in what was one of the worst financial decisions in NBA history. Houston jumped on the opportunity to get one of the most talented guards in the NBA, and they got Harden for 20 cents on the dollar. However, some people still believed Harden was only good as a sixth man, and there were doubts about him leading his own team. But it took James just one game to shut up the critics. In his Rockets debut, the Beard dropped 37 points, a career-high 12 assists, 6 rebounds, and 4 steals in a 105-96 win over the Pistons. 2 days later, he scored 45 points against the Hawks, and those 82 points were the most any player scored in his first 2 games with an NBA team. Coach Kevin McHale soon gave him all the authority and ultimate green light, which allowed Harden to develop a wide arsenal of weapons. The Beard immediately became an all-star, averaging 26, 6, and 5, and pushed the Rockets to the playoffs for the first time in 4 years. In 2014, Houston added Dwight Howard, but despite big hopes, the two superstars never clicked. James wanted to push the pace as much as possible and use transition as an easy way to score points, while Dwight felt that he should get more touches in the post. But Harden forced the pick and roll, and he viewed Dwight as only a screener and a lob threat, which were actually Dwight's strengths. But the big man didn't want to be a role player. Despite Howard's wishes, it was clear who was the best player on the team. When he had the ball in his hands, Harden's game looked like a basketball's sixth sense, dancing on the verge of talent and pure instinct. Harden developed all assets on the offensive game to absolute perfection. His Euro step was bad when he first came to the league, but he perfected it over the years and made it slower and more methodical. And it was soon the best Euro step in the NBA. The way Harden flailed his arms on drives, tangling the arms of defenders to draw a foul, was revolutionary, genius, and disgusting.
He really is up there with Curry on evolutionized the game, and he really don't get as much credit for that because if he really didn't make the Euro step what it was, people were doing little steps. I know Manu Ginobili had that in his bag, that's why he compared it to him, but it's James Harden really made it what it is with creating crazy layups off of it. And he made, you know what I'm saying, people like Kyrie add that to his bag to boom, then you know what I'm saying, or go with a left and pound dribble up and then lay like that. He really put a lot of people in their bags when he came to that and made them create more. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't be where they're at if he didn't evolutionize that
part of the game.
Yeah, for sure. Just like Curry evolutionizing the three, you know, a lot of people just take threes now. People have wide open layups on 2 and 1, and then they'll just go ahead and take a 3. If you make it, then good. But if you don't, then coach on your ass. So it's it's crazy.
All at the same time. But the best aspect of his game was how the Beard steamrolled to the basket. read the defensive reactions, and then in 1 millisecond made the perfect counter move. In 2015, Harden was named to the All-NBA First Team and finished second in the NBA MVP voting, behind Steph Curry. However, many people believed Harden was robbed, which was confirmed by the players, as James was later voted as the MVP by the Players Association. And even though the Rockets made it to the 2015 Conference Finals, it was clear that the relationship between their two superstars was dysfunctional. Almost as dysfunctional as deciding what to eat every day, constantly having to go out and buy groceries just to prepare tedious and boring meals. Well, look no further than HelloFresh, who takes care of the meal planning and delivers pre-proportioned ingredients right to your home. So whipping up delicious homemade meals is a walk in the park. Simply choose your recipes, pick your delivery date, and enjoy pre-proportioned ingredients and easy step-by-step recipes delivered right to your doorstep. And with 40 different chef-crafted recipes to select from every week, not only will you have extra time, you'll also have variety for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can even add on game day snacks from a curated selection of over 100 add-ons. All you need is 15 minutes, and you'll be enjoying a tasty homemade meal that's 25% cheaper than takeout and less expensive than grocery shopping. And look, just before I recorded this, I busted out the chef's cap and I whipped up the chicken thyme with green bean couscous. And guys, look, I know HelloFresh is sponsoring this, but trust me when I say this, it was simply amazing. I honestly expected it to be good, but I did not expect it to be this good. And so, of course, we've got a deal you can't pass up. Go to HelloFresh.com and use code 50Nonstop at checkout for 50% off plus free shipping. Yeah, that's 50% off and free shipping with code 50Nonstop. Visit the link in the description for this can't-miss opportunity. After a disappointing 2016 season that saw the Rockets get bounced in the first round, James and Dwight weren't on speaking terms anymore, and Howard was soon traded to Atlanta. For the 2017 season, the Rockets hired Mike D'Antoni as their head coach. D'Antoni was long aware of the power of the three-pointer, and with the blessings of the analytics team and GM Daryl Morey, the Rockets decided to shoot as many threes as humanly possible. Modifying the 7 seconds or less offense he used with the Suns, D'Antoni gave another meaning to the term run and gun. With over 40 threes per game, Houston broke the all-time NBA record in three-pointers attempted in a season, with 3,300
I think it's crazy because like when you think about a team that shoots a lot of three-pointers, a lot of people's first thoughts would be like the Warriors. But it's crazy because the Rockets used to outshoot them in threes all the time. They just didn't hit as many at a consistent rate, but like just pure volume.
And really, that three making when it comes to the Warriors is really just between the big three: Clay, Draymond, and Steph Curry. It's really never that they're like role players. Like, 'cause when the Warriors are really in their prime, like people like Sean Livingston. What was Sean Livingston on for? His mid range. You know what I'm saying? What was Draymond Green though for facilitating the ball, laying it up? People like Zaza Pachulia. Draymond Green, acting like he finna lay it up, passing it down to him, throwing it in the corner to Clay. That was really all their offense. But the Rockets used everybody to shoot the ball.
Except maybe like Clint Capella.
Yeah, that's really the only reason why the Rockets shot that many threes. But they were never going to be better than the Warriors because the Warriors just did it at a more consistent rate, and they did it at a more it was more as a game plan and not just a shot chunking rate.
Because they had PJ Tucker out there shooting 15 threes. That's crazy.
It's a shot chucking.
6 attempted threes. They shattered the previous record by 714, shooting 27% more threes than the 2016 Warriors. Harden thrived in this fast-paced offense. And because D'Antoni made him a point guard and had the whole offense running through him, James was stringing together triple-doubles like it was a video game. Due to the extremely high usage rate, Harden's numbers exploded. On December 31st, 2016, Harden recorded a triple-double with 53 points, 17 assists, and 16 rebounds in a 129-122 win over the New York Knicks, becoming the first player in NBA history with a 50-15-15 stat line. On January 27th, he dropped 51 points, 13 rebounds, and 13 assists in a 123-118 win over the 76ers, becoming the first player in NBA history with multiple 50-point triple-doubles in a season. The Beard finished the regular season with 22 triple-doubles and became the first player in NBA history to finish the regular season with at least 2,000 points, 900 assists, and 600 rebounds. James was the league leader in assists with 11.2 dimes per game and second in scoring with 29 points on average. Harden finished second in MVP voting behind Russell Westbrook, who averaged a triple-double for the year. Despite Harden's individual brilliance, in the second round of the playoffs, the Rockets were no match for Kawhi Leonard's Spurs, who defeated them in 6 games. On July 8, 2017, Harden signed a 4-year contract extension with the Rockets for $160 million, giving him a total 6-year deal with $228 million guaranteed, the richest contract in NBA history at the time. The Rockets added Chris Paul and PJ Tucker to the team, and suddenly, Harden had the most talented teammates since his last year in OKC. However, NBA skeptics believed Paul and Harden wouldn't be able to play together because they are both ball-dominant point guards, and that Harden's numbers would suffer because of CP3. But neither happened. Chris and James coexisted perfectly, and the Rockets weren't so dependent on Harden to make every play. Because Paul relieved him of heavy ball-handling duties, James started playing the best defense of his life, while still being the most dangerous scorer in the NBA. Then, on January 30th, with a 114-107 win over the Magic, Harden became the first player in NBA history with a 60-point triple-double. The Rockets finished the regular season as the #1 seed for the first time in franchise history, with a franchise-best 65-17 record. Harden won his first scoring title, averaging 30.4 points per game. The Rockets breezed past the first 2 playoff rounds to secure a matchup against the scariest team in the NBA, the defending champion Golden State Warriors. Despite Houston being the #1 seed, the Warriors' death lineup seemed unbeatable, and they were the heavy favorites to win the series. Still, after 5 games, the Rockets had a 3-2 series lead, and it seemed like they could do the impossible. But in Game 6, Chris Paul injured his hamstring and was ruled out for the remainder of the series. It all seemed lost. But in Game 7, Houston played great without Paul. They limited the best offense in the NBA to just 43 points and held an 11-point lead at the half. But in the second half, the Rockets missed an NBA record 27 consecutive three-pointers, making just 7 out of 44 shots from deep. With that kind of cold streak, Harden and company lost the lead, the game, and the series.
1 half of basketball, 2 games. Game 6 and 7. 1 half of basketball, we just didn't have the same energy that we had in that first half, our pace. So it's extremely frustrating.
But it wasn't all negative, because Harden was named the NBA Most Valuable Player, finally winning the award after 2 second-place finishes. Now, after the best regular season in franchise history, it was logical for the Rockets to lose some steam. However, nobody expected their complete downfall. For the 2019 season, Houston lost key defensive pieces in Trevor Ariza and Luc Mbah a Moute, and replaced them with Carmelo Anthony, who made their offense stagnant and their defense leak more than the Titanic. The Rockets were badly organized and disunited. And then they also lost Chris Paul due to an injury. With an 11-15 losing record and without their second-best player, it seemed like the Rockets would miss the playoffs. And then James Harden went ballistic. The Beard dropped 30 or more points in 32 straight games. In 18 of those games, Harden scored
That's a crazy stat.
40 or more points. 4 times he had at least 50, including a 61-point performance.
That's a crazy ass stat. Like,
To have like 18 40-point games in a row.
like that is a crazy ass stat. How many shots do you have to be taking, and how tired are you possibly? Like, how tired could you possibly be after that, bro? That's insane.
Madison Square Garden. James had a streak of 5 straight games over 40 points. And in a totally different 5-game stretch, he averaged 52. Harden finished this
5 games averaging 52. Like, that's crazy.
1 60-point game, 1 50-point game. Like, you're scoring 20 points a quarter, bro. Like, not even 30 points, damn near.
Because
25.
52, you can't have too many under 50-point games or it's going to bring that down.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
season, averaging 36.1 points, 7.5 assists, and 6.6 rebounds, becoming just the 4th player in NBA history to average 36 points per season, after Chamberlain, Jordan, and Elgin Baylor. During his historic season, the Beard changed basketball forever. Before 2019, Harden's left...
You said what?
LeBron at, bro.
Who?
LeBron.
This is about James Harden.
Drive was arguably the most devastating offensive move in the entire NBA. The sheer volume of his drives put constant pressure on the defense, and his playmaking brilliance limited the amount of help the teams could send at him. perfect ball control and silky dribbling combined with exceptional strength and an elite first step, control and silky dribbling combined with the amount of help the teams could send at him. Perfect.
Wait. We get a badass.
Oh yeah, cause that is not okay.
Ball control and silky dribbling combined with exceptional strength.
We're gonna go back one more time because that's bad, bro.
Like, bro, that is not okay.
And control and
oh no. Oh, it gets worse. No. It gets worse. It gets worse. Bro, this nigga's getting ready to go. Bro, hold on, bro. This is not okay. How do you, like, when you be like ready, set, go, and they be
track form, running form?
This shit is funny as fuck. Bro, his ass. Bro, that is not okay. James Harden got niggas running track and basketball. Walking off like it's nothing.
Had that boy in a bear crawl.
With exceptional strength and an elite first step, allowed Harden to create an advantage right at the start of the action. You knew he was going to go left 80% of the time. But because he'd do something else the other 20%, you couldn't cover him. Even if everything failed, his head feints and foul drawing would bail him out. And that's what made him an ultimate scoring machine. But in 2019, Harden was no longer using the left drive as his primary source of offense. Instead, he perfected a signature shot that was basically unguardable, the step-back three-pointer. The move was so effective that he started using it often, abnormally often. Harden was launching so many step-back threes that opposing guards started defending him in a way that was almost comical. It's a shot that can't be blocked, so defenders actually started guarding him from behind just to stop him from shooting a three. More than 60% of Harden's shot attempts were threes. And because of his ability to rise from any part of the court at any time and to create an outside shot every time he wanted, he reached a new level of offensive wizardry. And with the insane numbers, the barrage of threes, and the second highest usage rate in NBA history, the Rockets started to win games and were actually better without CP3. Harden's isolations were the beginning and end of all the Rockets' actions, but it was all part of a team concept, and it wasn't like he was just jacking up shots while others stood in the corner. When Harden pressured the defense with frantic dribbling, the rest of the team would move, cut, screen, and force the defenders to constantly rotate. Houston's ball movement was not at the same level as the Warriors, but their player movement was off the charts. Although Harden had a huge number of shots, you couldn't say that his game was selfish. His assist numbers confirm this, as Harden was third in the league in assists per game. If he sensed a defensive lapse, James quickly passed the ball to a center, Clint Capella, or sent it to the corners to PJ Tucker or Eric Gordon. Since that 11-15 record at the beginning of the season, Houston won 42 out of the next 56 games and made the playoffs with a home court advantage. However, in the second round of the playoffs, the Warriors proved to be too strong once again, despite Harden averaging 35, 7, and 5 in the series. After the season, Jamas won the MVP, leaving Harden's historic season without a trophy. And in the next few years, James changed teams, had several injuries, and his effectiveness decreased, and he always came up short in the playoffs. But if we only look at his prime with the Rockets, it's fair to say that there were only a few players in the history of basketball who forced defenses to make so many adjustments and who were the ultimate triple threats. Other than LeBron with the Cavs, there was nobody in NBA history whose team's entire offense ran through their hands as much as the Rockets did through Harden's. There are less than 20 NBA players ever who redefined how the game was played and how it was officiated, and Harden was one of them. But despite being a basketball genius, James was never, and never will be, a favorite among neutral fans. Harden flopped too much in the past. He draws too many fouls, which kills the pace of the game. He dribbles too much.
James Harden, to me, what he's accomplished, 3 years ago, we said, I would hate to play with this guy. Yeah. He dribble, and then shoots a step back three.
He doesn't always play defense and spends a lot of time in strip clubs. When it was most important, Harden wasn't clutch. And he has a rich history of inefficient shooting in the playoffs. Though he hasn't worn a ring, there's no denying that Harden is a brilliant basketball player. Out of all shooting guards ever, only Jordan, Kobe, and D-Wade had better careers than James. Even if you dislike him, you have to admit that prime James Harden was a basketball innovator and one of the best offense.
Yeah,
I think so.
D-Wade had what? 3 rings?
3?
2. And had as many MVPs as Harden. The only thing you can say is James Harden changed the game more, but that's just because with Dwayne Wade's play style, you can't just be like, oh, I'm finna go play like Dwayne Wade because he's super athletic. Mm-hmm. But you can teach yourself how to dribble like Harden. I'm not gonna say the same, but the same style, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I think Dwayne Wade had a better career.
Only thing I can put over that, I think he did have a better career than him, but I can say James Harden can still pass him. James Harden.
He has time still.
Yeah.
He just has to really tee up.
I see him going crazy when he gets back on the 76ers. When him and Joel Embiid get back, that team gonna be dangerous.
James Harden's on the Clippers.
Oh shit. I fucking forgot he left the 76ers. Dang, bro, I do not watch the NBA anymore. Jesus.
Players of all
He's on
time.
the Clippers. With the rest and Paul George.
And Kawhi. And PJ Tucker.
Cause now, the argument with James Harden, I completely forgot. My fault. I completely forgot he left the 76ers this offseason. But my thing with him is, he was doing this with arguably people would say a bunch of bums, but they weren't bums. But they were just
he's had some
nobodies,
pretty good
not
teams.
superstars. He's had some pretty good teams of role players, but he's never had a superstar on his side of him, except Chris Paul.
He's had KD twice.
No, I'm saying I'm talking about on the career that we were just watching.
Oh,
the career we just watched. In his prime, he's never had a superstar on the side of him really, except Chris Paul. But Chris Paul wasn't.
He was dealing with injuries.
Yeah, he wasn't a big superstar at that time. So he was doing all this mainly by himself. And then when he got with superstars, he doesn't have a really good, he doesn't have a good look. I say he doesn't have no good look with superstars. So he has a team full of superstars. Now, how far will they go when he gets back? Because they're doing really good right now. Mm-hmm. How far will they go when he gets back?
I think they definitely have a chance.
I do too.
Because they've been playing crazy. They started off a little shaky, but they went on a 10-game winning streak. And then I think they lost to the Lakers.
They almost top in the West. I think they dropped a little bit, but
yeah. But that was how good was prime James Harden. And we appreciate y'all. Link in the description. Follow Dame on Instagram. Follow Dame on TikTok. Do the same for me. All links will be in the description. You got anything else to say?
Nope.
And we out.
It was like a show.